Consolidating student loans is the first thing you want to do. So like I said, after you graduate, you have 6 months until your student loan payments begin. You're going to be bombarded with mail you may have already started. There are two kinds: federal student loans, well, there's also state, I guess there's three kinds, and private. They all get consolidated with like kinds. So if you have 2 or 3 federals, you may be able to consolidate those together. If you have 2 or 3 state, you consolidate those. If you have 2 or 3 private, you have to consolidate those. With all of the correspondence that you're getting about consolidate your student loans, you want to round up some of those, and you want to begin to do your homework. Call them. Hey, I got this in the mail about consolidating my student loans. What interest rate are you consolidating at? Also have private student loans. Do you do that? Is usually a good question. Can I consolidate both my private and my federal with you? And if I do both, are you going to give me another discount on my percentage? Just start asking, how much? Another good question to ask is, after I consolidate my student loans, you should write this one down. After I consolidate my student loans, do you sell my loan off to someone else? The first few payments that you make will be to the company you thought it was. And then 6 months down the road, they will have sold your loan to another company where you get letters that say, hey, you're no longer going to pay this company, you're going to pay this company. And instead of paying $200 a month, it's now $240 a month because we've reevaluated your loan. So that's a good question to ask is, do you sell off the loans after they're consolidated, or is this going to be the company that I will be paying until my student loans are paid for? This interest rate is usually going to be a little higher. This one is usually going to be a little lower. The beauty about debt, good debt versus bad debt. Bad debt are things like credit cards. Good debt, house, student loans. Because the interest is tax deductible. That's really important. Work on paying the credit card first. That does nothing for you. At least the interest that's accumulated on your student loans is a tax deduction at the end of the year. As far as consolidating, most of them go on a 10-year note. So typically 10 years. One of the other questions you want to ask is, does my interest rate change, or is there a penalty if I pay it off early? That's a sneaky maneuver. Sometimes they'll put you'll consolidate them, you'll pay this price every month for 10 months, but if you got a big bonus and you wanted to send them an extra $1,000, they readjust your period. They may go, well, since you're going to pay it off so much faster, instead of a 10-year note, we're going to move you to a 3-year note, and your payment just got 3 times as large every month. At federal, the answer is typically no. Private sometimes is where they'll get you. A lot of times if you set them up on an automatic draft, so like one of mine is at 3.25%, but it actually is 3.75. I got 25.25% knocked off because I do automatic draft, and another 25 basis points knocked off because I've now made 36 consecutive payments without being late. So things like that you want to ask about just to find out kind of what are the bells and whistles of the plan and the consolidation that they offer.